of us in this room, right, every single one of us, we've gone through some kind of emotional pain, right? Let's talk about it. Whether it is the need to belong, the need for affirmation, the need for affection, maybe the need to have some control in your life, would that be nice? Sometimes we have needs that go unmet, and sometimes it feels rather cruel when our needs are unmet. You can just ask my 15-month-old son. He experiences heartache every day because I don't let him chew on wires. All he's ever wanted in his very short lifespan is to go bananas on my phone charger. And it breaks his heart every day that I tell him, no, nobody can't. Rational or irrational, to hurt is human. And any kind of emotional pain that we go through, it can all fall on the spectrum of trauma. So if you think back to adolescence, those mortifying memories that still haunt you from your teenage years, they can be traumatic. Or we have professional goals that maybe we don't meet. We went up for that dream job and maybe we didn't get it. And now we have to regroup and figure out what to do next. That can be traumatic. Maybe we want to connect to our parents or our child or a sibling, and we just don't know what to say or how to say it. That disconnect can be very traumatic. And then, of course, we have what's more obviously traumatic, like car accidents, sexual assault, genocide, and war. All of these things are trauma. The nice thing about trauma is that we can fix it, though. We can help people heal from just about anything that they've gone through. On the lighter end of emotional pain, loneliness, embarrassment, all the way to horrifying issues that lead to PTSD and psychosis. We can help people heal. And the way people heal kind of looks the same. If you really break it down, looking at evidence-based interventions, they can all be broken down into 3 basic components. We all heal from trauma with 3 basic things. The first of which, and really the foundation for healing, is human relationships. If you have at least one safe, warm, nurturing relationship in your life, that's the first thing you need to heal from trauma. Relationships help activate the parts of your brain that calm down, that relax, that helps you find peace, helps you have more verbal understanding and communication. And when you're going through something traumatic, your brain shuts down. It turns all those parts off. It turns off the parts of your brain that you need to use in order to heal. Relationships turn them back on. Relationships help you feel safe enough to heal. And that's kind of step 1. If you can imagine, and if you're like me, it's not that hard to imagine, but imagine if you're in a fender bender, everyone's fine, no one's hurt, you're calm, you're cool, you're collected, you took insurance information, you're good, you're driving away, and you start to call your mom or your spouse or your best friend. It's really, you did not learn that no distracted driving lesson 2 seconds ago. So you call them, and the calm, cool you is gone as soon as you hear their voice, right? Or if you wait to get home because you're a smart person, good for you, then as soon as you see their face, your body can relax, it can calm down. You feel safe with this person. And that's a prerequisite for all healing. Relationships have often hurt you, but relationships are what will heal you. Relationships are the foundation for all healing from any kind of emotional trauma, light end of the spectrum, all the way to psychosis. Relationships help us heal. And they're really the foundation for the second thing that we need to do if we want to heal from trauma. The second thing we must do if we want to heal from trauma is that we have to look truthfully at our pain. We have to go there. We have to look honestly at what happened to us and process it. But we do not want to do that, right? There are a lot of things we would rather do than look at and deal with our pain. So we'll just go out to happy hour. We'll drink a little more than we normally do. Or we'll jump into a new relationship because we don't want to look at how much our heart was broken with our last relationship. We don't want to deal with that, so we'll just jump into a new one. Or we don't feel good about ourselves, so we'll just go eat our feelings. Like all of these things, we're running from our pain. Sometimes literally we'll take painkillers because we don't want to hurt. The number one cause of death for anyone under the age of 50 is drug overdose as of last year. We don't want to hurt. We do not want to hurt. Our brains and our bodies shut down when we feel this pain. And so again, that's where relationships come in. They help you feel safe enough to look at it, to go there. Speaking of drugs, to illustrate the importance of looking truthfully at what you've gone through, researchers are looking at the use of Molly or MDMA with PTSD survivors. So what is Molly? Other than being ours and Kimmy Schmidt's favorite American Girl doll, Molly is a form of ecstasy, right? If you remember Jenny from Forrest Gump, of course you remember Jenny from Forrest Gump, but if you remember when it was New Year's Eve, she had those stiletto heels on, she was high as a kite. It was the 70s. She was on ecstasy. Molly makes you stupidly brave. Makes you stupidly brave, so you do stupid things. For someone who has PTSD, what happens? When they get triggered by a memory of what they went through, their brains and bodies start shutting down out of survival. They go into survival mode, and you can't deal with your pain because your brain, that part's turned off. It's too scary, so they can't process it. So they give them Molly. They administer it. It's researchers. It's for a good cause. It is. They give people with PTSD Molly, and then they talk about what they went through. They go there, and they can't go there otherwise because it's too scary. So Molly helps them look truthfully at what they went through, when otherwise their bodies and their brains would shut down. I'm not at all condoning the use of any illicit drugs. The thought of that terrifies me. But we don't even need Molly either. Relationships give us that. Safe, warm, nurturing relationships, that's what gives us the bravery to look truthfully at what we went through. And so you go to a counseling session, and then you go get dinner with a friend. Or you go do yoga, and then you go get brunch with your partner. You have those relationships that give you the bravery and the capacity to look truthfully at what happened to you, at what you went through. And we do not heal in isolation. We only heal in the context of relationships. So relationships also give us the last thing, and dare I say the most important part of healing, and really the hardest part as well. You have to forgive. You have to forgive the person who hurt you, who allowed you to be hurt, who failed you, who broke your heart. You have to forgive them with compassion, knowing that their own issues, their unresolved trauma, does to them what it does to us. It seeps out. It spills on to our loved ones. It wreaks havoc in our lives. That's what trauma does if we don't heal from it. The person who hurts you is hurting themselves. They have also gone through very difficult things. And when we look truthfully at what we went through, we can start seeing the circumstances that led to our own pain, but also theirs as well. So maybe your parents didn't give you everything you needed. But when you look truthfully at what you went through, looking at what they had and where they were, you start to realize that maybe they gave you all they had to give. If you have a friend who betrayed your trust, maybe you can start to see again what was the circumstances that led to that. It's not okay, but you can see what they were going through and have that compassion for them. If it's someone outside of you, you don't necessarily need to forgive them or tell them that you forgive them directly or restart that relationship. You just have to forgive them for yourself. You may need to forgive the benevolent God who didn't intervene when you needed him to. You may need to forgive yourself and let go of all that regret you've been holding, all those memories that you won't let go of. And so again, this is where relationships come in. It doesn't mean that, forgiveness doesn't mean that it's retroactive permission. It's not saying that what happened to you, the offense that was done to your body, your spirit, your dignity, it doesn't say that it was okay, but it gives you freedom. When you go through trauma, your voice is robbed, your control is robbed, your power is robbed, and when you forgive, you get your power back. Again, relationships give us the strength to do that, because it's terrifying to think of forgiving, right? It's terrifying to think of that. If we let go of something we've held on to for so long, we may fear that we'll disappear with it, that we'll get lost at sea, that we'll get swallowed up in the magnitude of forgiving. But relationships anchor you, helping you find your voice in the aftermath. So follow recommendations by mental health providers, which will often look like cognitive behavior therapy, exposure therapy, medication, exercise, keeping a schedule. All of those things work really well at healing trauma. And the basic components are all the same: truth, forgiveness, and relationships. Don't rush it, because that can cause psychosis. So don't look at what you went through too quickly without support. But healing is possible. Seek people out when you're hurting. Invest the time and the energy to do what's unspeakably painful and difficult, but worth it. Do the work of healing. Look truthfully at what you went through. Forgive with compassion, all in the context of a relationship. So go and be healed.